I believe in aliens. I believe in exorcism. Because you know that what trauma's like because you've been through it, and that's why you're like that. Society today where it's like, how do I fix this the fastest I can fix it? Why do you need to be surrounded by shit all the time? Like, why?
Welcome to Tea with Tori. I'm your host, Tori, and today the tea is hot.
What's up, spillers? Welcome to a new episode of Tea with Tori. I'm your host, Tori, and today I have a very special guest. I have Carrie Ann.
Hey.
Please let the people know who you are, what you do, just a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me, Tori.
Of course.
My name's Carrie Ann, but formerly known on the internet as Peggy Shoots Film. I am a film photographer based here in Los Angeles, and I mainly shoot women and beautiful people.
I love that. So I think the most asked question you probably get is why Peggy?
Really good question. Yeah, because Peggy and Carrie Ann don't connect. Right?
At all. It's not even like, I'm like, is it a middle name? Is it like a mom's name? Like, what's up with this Peggy? Where did it come from?
I went to theater school. Like,
okay.
I'm a theater person through and through. I went to school at Marymount in New York City. And
I love that.
Yeah.
I almost went to AMDA.
There you go. Right there. And I studied like production management, arts administration, but I was in the same class as all my friends doing like musical theater history. And Peggy Ann is the first princess musical, just like Carrie Ann, and they were all like, "Oh my God, Peggy Ann, that's you." And I was like,
I get it.
okay.
You should have done Peggy Ann then.
I know. For years it was Peggy Ann, and then I just got shortened to Peggy like as time went on. But all my New York friends call me Peggy. It's funny. Like none of my clients do. None of my friends out here, because I always introduce myself as Carrie Ann.
I almost called you Peggy, honestly.
That's okay.
When I first met you and I was like sending the email, I was like, wait, but she did say like Carrie Ann is her name. So let me address her as her name.
Right?
Funny you should say that because my LLC name is Gypsy Rose from Gypsy.
Amazing. Best.
Because I made it to like do all my OnlyFans stuff and I was like, you know what?
Yep.
Who is a woman that was like seeing through the future? She was like, fuck, I don't care if burlesque means that I'm a whore. I love it. No, I was like, so you know what? I love it. Let's do
one of the best musicals of all time. I saw that when I was like 13 with my mom.
I just watched the like Natalie Wood's like whole story documentary.
Oh wow.
And she talks about that. That was like her first role as a woman in Hollywood.
Amazing.
That she was allowed to be like a sexy woman and not a kid playing like a kid on screen.
Yeah, back in those days it's hard.
And her
crazy.
mom, she said, was very much like the mom. So she said the scene where she's
oh
like, look at me, mom, I'm a pretty girl. She's like, I literally felt like I was just talking to my mom.
That was me. Yeah.
That is like the craziest thing to me.
Well, okay, so from one theater person to the next.
Exactly. So you said you worked for a talent agency.
Yes.
Which one did you work for and why did you leave?
I worked at Abrams Artist Agency in New York City.
I was signed to them when I was a kid.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh my
hilarious.
God, our parallel universe is like crossing over.
New York's so small though.
New York is so small.
It's so small. People think it's like, oh, the Big Apple, big city. I'm like, no, I ran into my ex-boyfriend all the time.
On the subway. Yeah.
Literally, like I would be like, oh, and there he is again on 42nd Street. Literally.
I worked there straight out of college. That was my like out of college, like, 9 to 5 job. I loved it until I didn't. It just wasn't creative enough. Like I would work, you'd get there at 9, you'd leave at 7, you'd go to the theater at 8 to see your clients in a show, and it was that every day. And that was the fun part, seeing your clients in the shows. But the rest of it was like so like mind numbing and boring. Running someone's life for them. I assisted 2 agents in the like theatrical department, so we rep people in TV and film. Which was if I was still there, I'd for sure, that's what I'd be doing. I'd be an agent. So
literally.
Yeah, crazy. But it's helped me so much with my own work and like being my own agent. I did finally get rep last year, which is like saved my life. But I was my own agent because I, was trained to be. So yeah, I miss it sometimes.
I feel like there's like 3 parts to the business. There's like in front of the camera, behind the camera, and then handling the business.
Yes.
And when you kind of get into the creative field, you start to kind of do everything to try to figure out which one you like the best. Because there's some people that are like, oh my God, I just like being a part of this, but I don't really want to like act.
Yeah.
Or I don't really want to be a director, but I want to be in the entertainment business.
Totally.
I want to be a lawyer. Like I want to be anything, a manager, a casting agent. There's just so many different ways to be involved in the creative field that you should never be bored and you should never really be doing a job that like doesn't inspire you, especially in the creative field, because that's why you got into it. Like if you wanted to be bored, you'd go be a regular job.
Exactly. Work in some other office. But no, it definitely like shaped me and like made me the person I am today. It's crazy. I did that like 5-6 years ago. I just think about that. I'm like, I left that job, I think it was like 5 years ago now.
That's when I moved to LA.
Yeah, I moved here exactly 3 years ago.
What made you move to LA?
Just photo stuff. Yeah, like the photo thing was going, because it happened a little bit toward the end of my job at Abrams in New York. And then I was like, I got to go to LA, because I visited with my dad. We just like drove around and smoked weed for a week. And I was like, I need to, in December. And it was like warm and amazing. And then New York, it's like snowing. And I'm like, I want to die. Like I can't be here anymore. And I remember calling my parents. They're split, but they're friends. And I told both of them separately, hey, I'm going to leave New York this year after being there for 7 years. And they were like, no, you're not. And I was like, what do you mean? No, I'm not. And they're like, no, like you have such a great life there. Like you can't leave, and you have a great
established.
job. Yeah, you're established. Like you've worked. And I was like, no, I gotta go. So then, I moved home to Florida for like 9 months, and I learned to drive because I didn't know how to. You, as a fellow New Yorker, know.
Yeah. The only reason I even have a license is because my parents like bought the whole package for me to do the 5-hour class and the schooling, and they were like, you have 2 options. What is wrong with you? Get out of here. You have one of 2 options. You can either take the classes and get your license, or you can pay us back for the school. I was like, who?
Yeah, what?
Why did I get put in this situation? And then my sister to this day still does not have even her permit. I was like, what? Where is that learning curve? My brother got his license like the second he could. He was like obsessed. He wanted to drive immediately.
Where's that learning curve? That was me.
She still doesn't have it.
She needs it.
She needs it.
Anyone
actually,
can learn to drive at any age.
100%. My best friend just got her license at 27.
That respect to her. One of my good friends is learning right now, and every day I'm like, power to you,
She's
woman.
a New Yorker. I had her move out here. She was like,
yep. Yeah,
I have to drive.
Scary. And I'm not even like I am, because I live there. I'm not from there like you. I'm from Florida, but I just was set on New York. And I was like, I'm going to get there no matter what. And I did.
That's what my dad did. He was from Maryland, and he saw Michael
my mom
Kors.
too.
No way.
Yeah.
He saw Michael Kors do this special when he was 13 that was like, if you want to make it as a designer, you have to move to New York and go to Parsons. And he was like, well, now I know I got to move to New York and go to Parsons. And that's literally what he did.
Amazing. If you want something, you got to go get it.
You have to.
And he's still there.
He is now. We convinced him, me and my siblings, to move to LA. He's here now. Him and my mom moved here last year.
Oh, I'm doing the same thing. My parents are so stubborn. They love Florida. I mean, Florida's a great place to be, too.
Dude, I had to convince a man whose dream since he was a 13-year-old child was to live in this state. It was like the pandemic. I don't think I could have done it without the pandemic, because being locked inside in New York is a whole different animal. Those apartments are not for existing in. No. You're supposed to exist outside of them.
Yeah, you're not. You're there like just 8
jobs.
hours to sleep. Yeah, your 8 jobs. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. They're here.
They literally live 15 minutes from me now.
Oh my God, I gotta hang out with them.
It's actually
someone's
wild.
parents. I'm like, who has parents here? I want to hang out with them.
Dude, my parents adopt all my friends. Literally, I think it was Father's Day. I like saw a story from my parents, and my roommates are over at their house.
Yeah, that was
hanging out with my parents. I was like, okay.
That's how it goes. When I moved to New York, my mom moved with me, and she lived like down the street. My friends would just be there hanging out with her.
Literally.
I was like, you guys kidding? They're like, oh, your mom's making pasta. They'd just be there eating.
It's always been that way for me. Like even in high school, I was the house that like people would come over if I'd be like, oh, parents, like, can you go to the room, please? I want to be a teenager and like have teenage time. And they'd be like, okay, like you can have the house. To like tell people we're out. We don't really care. They'd come over. They'd be like, are your parents here? I'm like, what the fuck?
Amazing.
I thought we were down to chill. I wanted to be reckless. So you want to talk to my parents about your issues?
That's how it is.
Literally. Because my parents are like, oh, come, like we'll talk to you about anything. They're life coaches now. So it's like what they do. Cool. They're vegan life coaches that do yoga every day.
I need to connect them. My mother's like literally this. She's a vegan massage therapist.
She needs to be out here then.
Natural healer. I know. Essential oil woman. Tell her every day.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, you would love her.
Your parents I want to interview your mom.
She'll come on. She'll be like,
yeah.
She'll be like, smell this oil. Literally.
I would love that. I'm right now in school to get my 200 hours of vinyasa yoga training to be certified.
Amazing.
And one of the classes they offer is aromatherapy to get certified in that. I was like, I want to learn how to smell the smells and like
Yeah.
diagnose people and be like, oh, you can't sleep.
Oh yeah.
Here, take this.
I'll give you my mom's number and
Hell yeah.
talk to her, and she could be on the podcast next.
I'm gonna be like, hey, I was hanging out with your daughter and she said that you like essential oils, so I think we should connect on
Yeah.
this.
Oh, she would love that. She'll text you every day.
So your parents sound highly supportive of like everything you do.
Oh yeah, they're so cool. I'm an only child, so they kind of like they're
You're the
here for it.
world.
Yeah, I'm their world. They're like my dad's out here all the time,
I
hanging
feel like
out.
that goes either way though, of like, we have a future that we see for you and you're the only kid, so you have to follow these paths, and we wanted to have a lawyer.
Yeah.
Like was there
Yeah.
ever a moment where they were like, creative worlds, photography?
So they actually, I didn't think, like, they were like, you have to go to college. And I said, okay, great. You have to pay for it. And they said, okay, because neither of them went. And they were like, okay, go to college. And I was like, all right, I have to go to New York because I have to be in New York or near it, you know, like Boston. I almost went to school in Boston. But I did end up in New York City, thank fucking God.
Literally.
Nothing better.
Boston's
and
way different.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't there. But so I did that, and then they were like, you have to get like a job with like a 401k and like, you know, health insurance and stuff. I'm like 22 being like, what, health insurance?
does
You
that
guys
even
still
mean?
got me
Literally.
for 4 years. And then I did that, and you know, I succeeded at it, and then the photography thing came about, and they saw I was making money doing it. And then when I moved home for those 9 months, it like took off, and then I was coming out to LA. People were booking me out here, so I'd be booking trips, and they just really saw it like come to fruition, like in front of my eyes, their eyes, and they were like, you need to do this. And I was like, no, I want to move to LA and like work in an office again. And they were like,
No.
and then the office job that I was gonna work at Abrams again, they wanted to pay me like $35,000 a year. Who can live? That's not like, it's crazy the salaries. This was 3 years ago, and I had worked for them for 2
my
years.
God.
2 years. I thought they were at least gonna say 60.
Literally.
I showed that to my dad. He goes, "You're gonna have to like bartend on the weekends or something." He's like, "You're gonna have to work every day." He's like, "And I'm probably gonna have to still help you with something." And I was like, "What? Like how?" Because you know, you work for those big corporations, and one day, you know, after you've worked for making $2 an hour for 4 or 5 years, they start to pay you correct. But
Jupiter. I'm like, don't cry then. Or
Oh.
run away.
Like-
Always disrupting the podcast.
oh yeah,
That's what I feel like being a parent is. Literally. Just always being interrupted.
yep, That's
Constantly.
True. That's true.
Constantly. So how did you even get into photography?
My boss at the agency gave me like a bunch of money for Christmas one year, and I did not know what to buy. I was like, oh my God, this is so much money. What should I buy? So I bought a camera,
And was it a digital or a film?
film camera, really nice film camera. Yeah, I still shoot with it. It's still one of my
No
like favorite cameras.
way.
Yeah. So
What made you pick? Which one did you pick and what made you pick it?
It's a Hexar Konica, and my friend his name's Ryan at Lomography at the time, which was this, they still make film, but they don't have a store anymore, in the Lower West Side, was like, this is the camera for you. And I was like, okay. And I bought it. Didn't know anything about it. Ryan just said to buy it.
So you bought a super expensive camera
Yeah.
just because someone told you that's the camera for you.
Yeah.
And it just was.
And it just was, and he knew it. He
That's
nailed it.
wild.
We're
I
still
love
friends.
that.
Yeah, he always helps me with stuff, but he was just like, this is it. And I was like,
So how did you start getting clients? Were you just like, hey, I have a film camera, can I shoot you?
so I love pictures of me, as any woman does. You know,
Yeah.
I love to be in front of the camera. So I
Like-
taught, yeah, I literally am like, hey, I taught all my friends how to shoot with this nice camera, pictures of me, and in return, they'd get pictures of them.
That makes sense.
And then I made like a little Instagram account, my same one, back like, I guess it's 4 years now I've had it, four or five. I left New York 4, so I was still doing it. So maybe 5 years ago. And same account, same name. I made that, and I started posting my photos of all my friends and all the like little creative and like fun shoots that we do. And then it just like evolved, and I was posting more. I enjoyed posting, still working at the agency, didn't care about it, started gaining like traction, following. And then I remember Luna Collective magazine. I just shot my like 5th cover for them like yesterday.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
no way.
crazy. I work with them all the time, but it's been like 4 years now, and I've done so many covers for them. But they reached out and said, "Hey, we want to pay you to shoot this magazine cover." And I was like, "What? Like, what does that even mean? Like, where do
Literally.
you want me to do it?" And I set up like a backdrop in like my little piece of shit small New York apartment, like this little hole. I don't even know how I got full body shot. Look, photos were great, but I don't know how I did it. I made
I made it work.
Yeah, model came over. I'm like, this is what we're working with my box lights in there, like with different colors. I don't know. My mom was helping me. Like it was so random. Like I didn't know anything, but like my photo on the magazine cover, it came out, and like I got it. I still have it, of course. And I was like, what? And then people saw that, and people saw me like doing stuff, and it wasn't anything, of course, like crazy, but people just saw me like progressing and like doing stuff, and like things just kept like I'm a big believer in like manifestation and like things happening for a reason, and like just being a positive person. And I subconsciously I think manifested this because I had a career path that I was down. I had a good job. I was like, making some money working a 9 to 5, but like
you weren't like 100% fulfilled.
No, and I didn't know what would fulfill me because I grew up with my parents saying, "Oh yeah, you got to get a job, like a good job," and
then you'll be happy.
Yeah, and then you'll be happy. And then I was like, "Oh, I don't like going to the 26th floor of this building every day and sitting inside for all these hours when I could be out there."
No, that's my thing about like 9 to 5s is I don't know if there's a certain personality type where like they like that, or if that's just like a situation that if you're in it and you need to be in it, you're in it. Yeah. But I don't know how I would do that. I just feel like it's like school, and the whole time I was like, Jesus Christ, when am I going to turn 18 and be a fucking senior and get out of here? Like, right? I can't imagine feeling like that about the rest of my life.
No, me neither. I'm glad I figured it out early on, like, in my life, because it also, like, my back still hurts from that job, like, my neck. Like, I swear it just did a number on me sitting in a chair.
100%.
And my mom, Miss Massage Therapist, was like, you need to go to the chiropractor twice a week. You need to take care of yourself. And I did. I still do, but it's just, like, it's like, damaging. I don't know. And, like,
100%.
Going in on days you don't want to go in or not being able to work from home. And it's, like, and that's a cutthroat job, too, being in that industry. And, like, I am cut out for it for sure, but, like, it was hard. It was hard.
I feel like anything in New York is like cutthroat.
Yeah,
it is. There's no option to breathe. There's no option to take a second. Like New York is just relentless because there's always someone working harder than you.
Yeah.
And that I think is what made me so successful off the rip when I came to LA, because so many people that I know were like, oh yeah, I moved to LA and like couch surfed for the first 9 months. I didn't have a job. I was just going on some auditions. I'm like, I literally moved to LA, had a job within a month, and was like on my fucking shit, like working catering jobs 6 days a week, shooting with random photographers that I would hit up on Instagram. And they'd be like, oh, when your following's higher. I'm like, okay, let me grow my following. Let me go. Like, I was working so hard. I didn't know what I was even working towards, but I was just like, I can't go back to New York.
No.
And if I fall on my face, not that my parents would ever be like, oh, like they never told me so, nothing like that, but like I would move home because I wouldn't have any money, and I'm not fucking doing that. So I'm going to do whatever it fucking takes to make sure that never happens. So I just hustled so hard. And I still do to this day. You just got to like adjust the hustle.
And it's that New York like mentality of work.
Mm-hmm.
And like I have so many East Coast friends, so many friends that lived in New York that I didn't know. Like my very best friend lived there the same time as me, was in the same circles. And she met my best friend from New York recently. And they were like, I swear to God, we know each other. And I'm like, we probably were out one night. I'm sure we like, and it's just crazy, but it's like all the people that have moved here from New York, all of my like best friends that I've met out here have once lived there or are from there. And I'm like, because we all get each other, like mentally, like there's just something there. That hustle, like when I was moving here and I was telling like, I don't know, like getting my references in order, they're like, oh, anyone will hire you because you have New York experience. And I was like, you know what? Probably.
Literally. It's so like,
it's crazy that that's a thing, but
I don't even know like how to explain New York unless you've been there.
Yeah.
Cause I would just see, cause I worked at Catch as a hostess. I would see like 1,000 people a night.
Oh yeah.
And for you to go to Catch to eat dinner, you got to be making some nice money. Mm-hmm. So you would just
especially the New York one.
3 floors, overpriced. Yep. Oh, yeah. You'll see a hella celebrities, though. That's what you're paying for. You're paying to watch celebrities eat. But the food's good. So at least you eat good food while watching the celebrities eat.
Food is good.
It's so good. That was one of the huge perks and how they kind of kept me. Like, because, of course, there's other restaurants. There's Chow. There's a bunch of them down there. But Catch is like, you know what? Every shift you work, you get dinner.
That's nice.
I'm like,
I want Catch now.
Right? It's so freaking good.
So good.
I actually go to New York on Sunday for the Jake Paul fight and all that
I'm so
stuff. And I'm like,
jealous.
maybe I should go to catch.
Oh, dude, I just left and all I did was eat. It was like an eating marathon.
That's the thing is I don't
Carbs.
want to I don't want to go and eat my weight in New York and then
I did.
Then I go to Miami the week after. And
You'll
be
eat
like,
down there too. Food's so good because that's where I'm from. Food's so good. My 2 favorite places.
do you know what I'll
Both
come
of
back
them.
looking like if I just do what
I
I
feel
want to
you.
do?
I feel you.
Like, bro, famous house of mac
hard.
and cheese. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck is that?
I need. Bring me some. Bring me back some bagels. I brought
That's
some
what
back.
I need
That's
to
what I
bring back.
need.
Oh my God, I'm about to change your life right now.
You can order them.
It's called Bagelicious, and it's 7 minutes from here, and they make New York City bagels because the person is from New York.
Oh my god. What do they import? The water? I haven't found a good place
Whatever
here.
they do, it's a New York City
We're
bagel.
about to put all these people on too.
Bagelicious in the freaking valley. Telling you
go.
right now, go. It's a New York City bagel, and I
Oh,
have not
shit.
found them at all out here. Even my mom started buying grocery store bagels. I was like,
Oh,
no.
no.
And my mom is a Russian Jew, so bagels
Oh yeah.
is a very
important to
serious
her.
situation. So I was like, Mom, you can't. I found the bagels. It was a huge deal.
I still haven't. I mean, this is
found
huge
the
for
bagels.
me. It's important.
I'm still looking for pizza. I'll let y'all know. I'll keep you updated.
Well, you know they have Joe's out here. It's not the same.
It's not the same. Because
That's-
I had everyone from LA is like, oh, Joe's.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right. And we're like,
yeah, but I have New York Joe's.
Yeah.
So I understand why you think, but I don't think.
yeah, no. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, it's not the same. It kind of grosses me out. But I lived around the corner from Joe's. When I lived there, I was growing up.
Honestly, a lot of your formative years.
Yeah,
of, adults.
I
young
consider
adult
that I
years.
grew up there.
Yeah, I definitely did. I'm so
yeah.
thankful that I did, but I'm also so thankful that I'm no longer there.
Me too.
My quality of life increased so much. I literally,
God.
I was so
Having a car? What a game changer.
whenever I go back now and I go to places I don't have my car, I'm like, should we rent a car? I don't know what to do.
Oh, yeah,
I
no.
need to.
I'm like, I have to drive.
What if I have to
be
escape?
mobile.
What the fuck? What if there's something happens? We don't have a car. It's the
escape.
most alarming thing. And I guess because I had a car in New York because my grandparents lived so close, my parents would
Oh,
drive
see,
us
that's
to the
nice.
grandparents. And then we got driven to school like little bougie ass kids.
Having a car in New
high
York.
school.
Couldn't imagine.
It was insane. My parents are crazy, but they were like, you know what? They took us to so many after school things
They
and
needed
up
it,
and down the
yeah.
city. Taxi cabs was what it was at the time. It wasn't
Oh,
Ubers. That's
yep.
hella expensive. Or you're taking 3 little kids on a subway.
Ugh.
That's
Yeah.
horrifying during rush hour. So I understand why they did. It's just a huge time commitment.
Yeah. Damn.
A huge undertaking. And then they move here and they're like, oh, yeah, our car.
Yeah.
We don't even care. It's absolutely insane. Having a car in New York is actually really crazy.
I'm jealous. That's what I need. I was over there sweating. I Ubered everywhere when I was out there, but I was trying to walk. Could walk off all the bagels and carbs that I was
Literally.
eating. Just dripping sweat. Being there in the summer is so brutal.
Bro,
That's
I
so
brought
fun.
my Los Angeles boyfriend to New York, and nothing is funnier than, well, yeah, let's Uber. No, it's not that far. We can just walk. Walk? Walk? 10 blocks? I'm like, yeah, it's only 10 blocks. You want to walk 10 blocks?
You're like, you're paying.
Literally, sure. We can get on the subway, but it's hot. It's the summer. I don't know what you want from me. Let's just Uber, take a
that's
taxi.
so
We're going to be there in
funny.
45 minutes instead of 10. 45 minutes. Because I lived in Harlem, so going to work at Catch.
Oh yeah, all the way down.
Imagine if I Ubered to work. It'd be like
No, you'd be in the car
$75
forever. Yeah,
and an hour and a half.
$75, Yep. Sitting in traffic, like, oh fuck.
I would literally, when I would leave, I would weigh the options. I'd be like, okay, let me look at Uber prices. All right.
Yep.
These 4 promoters are out, so I know if I go out with the promoter, he'll pay for my Uber. Because I'm not paying for a $60
figure it
Uber.
out.
That was my whole
Oh.
shift. I'm making like $20 an hour.
Rough.
I'm not going to freaking,
Spend it on my car ride home.
literally
Where
on the
I
car
could have
ride
been
home.
the whole night.
So I would do that, or I would literally sit at the host stand or chill downstairs with the bouncers until the Uber price would drop to
Went down, yeah.
nighttime prices. It was insane. The things I did to save money, my mom
Yeah.
raised me so frugal.
Oh yeah.
She's like, don't be
Same.
stingy, but be frugal. Be smart with your money. And that's always stayed with me. She literally would when we would get allowance, we had 3 little envelopes, and one said spending, and one was short-term saving, and one was long-term saving.
What a smart woman.
Literally.
I like that. I got to do that when I have a kid.
When I was 18, she took me to get my credit card, my first credit card.
Yes, my dad did the same thing.
It was a control line of credit. I had to give them $200.
Nice.
And then I had a $200 credit line so that if I ever like didn't pay, they had the
$200.
They had it.
Oh, that's nice.
It wasn't too stressful for them to give a child a credit card.
credit card.
Which I think, like, I think about it now, like, you feel like such an adult at 18.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm a legal adult. Like, I'm not a kid anymore. But thinking about myself at 18, I'm like, whoa, you were no type of adult. What in the world were you thinking? You were an adult?
I was on one.
On 7, my guy. Like, I moved to LA and I was like, I need to leave New York. I'm going to die.
Did you move here when you were 18?
I moved here when I was 23.
Oh, okay.
Thank God. But my poor little brother moved here at 18 because we all moved together.
Oh, the whole squad.
The whole squad.
Wait, your parents moved? Oh, no, you moved with your...
Me, my brother, and my sister moved. And then...
Oh, my God. You guys were like... No wonder your parents moved. You guys squad left. They were probably like, what is the point
all
anymore?
At the same time. We empty nested them all at the same time in one foul swoop.
They were probably They
went through a whole... Like, that's when they started doing life coaching and, like, all these other things because they were like, we went from having our whole lives revolve around 3 people to just being the 2 of us. Oh. And for so long they didn't have that. Yeah. Because they met when they were 20. They were in school and working and like struggling. And then 9 months after they got married, they got pregnant with me. So they're like they never really had that time to be like a cute little couple together. They got to be young parents, which is like the other side of the coin. That's fun as well, like not being an older parent, but they didn't really get to like honeymoon like that and like travel together and see the world. So like I think it's super adorable that they have that time now, still at an age where like it's fun and they can do shit and like they're energetic and like
oh, that's sweet.
They literally still act like they're 15 years old and like high school sweethearts. It's insane.
Aww. And they're still together. Wow, it's special.
Oh hell yeah,
that's awesome.
They're celebrating. I think next year's their 30th.
Wow, you're so lucky. That's so cool.
It's insane. Cool. It's really crazy.
You don't see that anymore. Everyone's always, oh, this is my 3rd wife. Like, what? Imagine.
The one thing I can really give it to is like, you're like, oh, my parents are together with their best friends. Like, bro, be amicable. No one like forced you to have kids together.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, like, regardless of how much you hate your ex-spouse, that is the parent of the person that you care about the most. So, like, be respectful. Always keep it respectful.
Yeah. Took them like 10 years to figure it out. They hated each other, but yeah, they're cool now. They hang out. When I'm in town, they hang out. And they'll like talk about stuff. They're funny, mostly involving me. But when I'm in town, it's like family bike ride or like literally let's all watch this documentary together. Yeah, it's funny. And all my friends that have known me for like years just think it's so funny that they hang out. And they're complete opposites. My mom does massage. My dad was like, so last time I was in town, he was just like, so his back or something was so, he goes, you think your mom will give me a massage? I'll pay her. I was like, you guys are really taking this to the next level. But yeah.
That's hilarious.
Me and my cousin are just on the couch. My dad's in the massage room just getting like a massage. We were like, I'm like, me next. My cousin's like, no, I want to go. Like, we're
oh my God, I love it.
Back there. Yeah, they're funny.
I want to be cool. Like trained to do massages. I just like I love holistic healing.
Oh yeah,
I've just become.
You got to talk to my mom.
Literally,
I love it too. I have a really good. Who's out here? Acupuncturist, like down here. Yeah,
no way.
Really good one. If I didn't do what I do now, I feel like I'd do like something holistic, like acupuncture, like yoga.
I'm like straddling it right now.
Yep.
I'm like, massage. I have a production company, but I also am in school to do yoga and want to become a masseuse. But like, why can't I do both?
Yeah, you can do both.
¿Por qué no los dos? Why can't I have multiple companies? I don't understand.
You can.
As long as you know how to delegate and expand and
have a team and have people, yeah, why not?
Why not do everything?
Multiple things?
Because at the end of the day, like, I've been doing creative stuff my entire life. Like, I've been heavily trained in all versions of it, between my dad in fashion and being a fashion designer and my mom being a fit model to my sister being an IMG agency model and me, like, being her chaperone traveling around the world with her to then, like,
so cool.
Influencing, like, everything that I've pretty much done in my life. Singing has been in the creative field. So, like, I feel like it'd be so weird to leave it and I would never want to do that. But there are other things that I am interested in pursuing and I don't think you should have to choose one.
I agree.
And that is what I stand by. I go through phases though. I feel like everyone does.
Totally.
I like really, I respect those people that like found what they wanted to do when they were 6 and they still love
stuck
it.
with it, right? Like people who are like doctors,
literally,
or like nurses. Because I don't believe you necessarily like need a degree anymore.
Unless you're doing some shit
unless
like that,
you're a doctor, like I would please go to school for those 10 years, you know, or literally. A lawyer or something. But like, for anything creative, I don't know. Like I'm teaching right now. Like I have course that I teach. I teach like one-on-one, and like people are like, why am I going to school when I could like learn from you or take classes from other people? Like I take class.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, if someone's teaching a workshop or a class, like I'm signing up. I don't even care how much it is. If it's something I want to learn, I'm like, great. And you learn it in a day or maybe 2 days versus like, okay, here's my fucking 4-month like course that I'm in. Like
my thing about college is just like, why are you making me take, okay, so I understand middle school, high school, you want us to take all the subjects because some kids don't know what they want. Right. Some kids need a little bit of intro to everything. But by the time we get to college and we declare our major, if my major has nothing to do with those things, why am I now paying for these classes? It's not even like, oh, the ones that don't pertain to your major, they're free, but they're credits that you have to get. It's like, no, you have to pay for this class that has nothing to do with the thing you've chosen to do in the future, just so you can get a piece of paper from us saying that you know enough to be what? To go back to work in McDonald's because you have an extreme amount of debt and the major that you chose isn't even a career path. Like, insane.
It happens all the time. Like, why was I in science class when I was studying like producing in college? Like, what was I doing I literally told my teacher, I said, I have a job already like past me, and he was like, okay. And I would still literally, because he understood. He saw that I was like successful.
But honestly,
my senior year, like last semester, I was in the back of the class like this on my phone, like just texting, like not charging my phone, getting like an F on my test, still passed, got a B+ because he liked me and he knew that I was like, you know, not fucking.
Like I'm doing shit, bro.
Yeah,
I was like, about science.
Because I'd come in like dressed up, ready to go to like work or something after. He asked me one day why I was like all dressed up, and I was like, I have a job,
literally,
like an actual career job. He's like, okay, cool. And then, like...
And you're like...
I was like, thanks. But
I was queen of extra credit.
Oh, yeah, that too. I'd always be like, what paper can I write? Because I was good at writing stuff and, like, that. But, like, remembering stuff for a test... Right?
Really?
Yeah. Oh, my God. Like, can't... And, like, when I wanted to be an actor when I was little, because, like, I love theater, I was like, I want to be on Broadway. Like... I
learning
couldn't
lines.
I was like, how do people memorize stuff? And I would like write stuff down and like really try, but like, God, that's so hard. I do not, like, all my friends who are actors, whenever I like read with them or when I worked at the agency and I'd like help them with their lines and stuff, I don't know how they do it.
There's so many like the amount, because I've been through a bajillion acting classes. I literally, the second that I decided I wanted to do music, and I was 8. And I was like, I don't want anything for my birthday but voice lessons. And my parents were like, okay, well, then you have to take classical piano too. Like thinking I was going to be like, never mind. And I was like, all right, bet, let's do that too. And that turned into like...
Do you still play?
I do here and there.
Amazing.
I like have stuff memorized still. Like
cool.
I can play Mozart still and like a few things. I forgot a few of them that I do really love. I'll sit down and do it again, I'm sure.
You should.
It will happen.
Don't lose that. I mean, that's like a muscle memory thing.
I want to teach my kids, so that will probably be when I get back into it.
Oh, yeah.
When
and
I, like, start doing
to like learn yourself and like have, you could all take from the same teacher.
Literally.
I played piano. I hated it. I made my mom was like, Mom, I don't want to do it anymore. But I started classically singing when I was 8 or 9 too, and singing lessons, because my mom's like, here you go, because I love theater so much and I love stuff. So I was taking like opera. I was like learning how to sing opera.
I did opera when my voice started changing, because I was in musical theater again. I did Tada in New York.
Oh my God, yes, I remember. I remember that.
I was such a little theater kid. I did Tada. I loved it, but I went through puberty and I used to be able to sing really, really high, and my voice started changing, and it was harder to sing high. And they were like, "Oh, well, you need to find your mix." I'm like, what the fuck is that? The mix between your chest voice and your falsetto. It's like this in between muscle in your throat. You have to strengthen it, blah, blah, blah. We recommend you to this opera coach. So I did opera training for like 2 years.
So fun.
I was like, don't furrow your brow. Relax your face. You should be able to literally sing with your whole complete face relaxed and your throat relaxed. That's how you sing the best, which is crazy, because whenever you see someone like singing, they're like, like that's wrong. That's so wrong.
Oh, I'm always judging.
Literally, I can like feel when someone sings. I can feel it in my throat, like where they're straining, like how they're singing. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's the
crazy,
craziest
but you
thing.
don't lose that. Like from learning for so many years, like whenever I sing still, whatever in the car, like it's there. Like all my friends are like, "Oh my god, like you still sound great." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't, whatever." Like
You're like, yeah,
I'm like, yeah, karaoke. But it's not anything I'd like ever want to do professionally. Like God, that is like I don't ever want to be on stage. I don't ever want to be in front of people.
Like not my thing. Not
yeah,
my
I'm like
thing.
not my thing. But like I will go to karaoke and like fucking slay.
I'll fuck it up.
Yeah, I'll fuck it up.
I'll
at
fuck up some
karaoke.
genie in a bottle, man. Don't get in my way.
Hell yeah. It's the next portion of this podcast video. We go and do karaoke in the other room. We have the mics.
Literally. So many people have been like, you should do ASMR with these mics and just.
Ooh. Oh, that's a good sound.
I was like,
hit it or something. That could be next. You
Right?
have a like ASMR pot. You have Trisha Paytas on to do ASMR with.
Oh my God. Have her come eat with me.
Yep. In the mic. You get no words. Just
eating.
Cheesecake Factory.
Oh my God. I love Cheesecake Factory.
I love Cheesecake Factory.
It's a real problem.
And they don't have them in New York.
No.
I had to like go to the
Of
mall.
course not.
Where was it? In like the mall in like Astoria or something to go to the Cheesecake Factory. And then I would go to Chili's in New Jersey.
Yeah.
I would go on the PATH train to go to Chili's with all of my friends in New Jersey. We were like, Chili's. Like,
That's
oh my God, I
believable,
love
though.
Chili's.
Like, where the fuck are you going in New York?
Not
Everything's
Chili's.
mad bougie.
Yep.
Or like a pizza store.
Yeah.
That's it, like-
Joe's every day.
Artichoke was my bitch, though.
Oh, yeah.
Artichoke saved me from so many hangovers because you
Oh,
do
yeah,
like
that shit is so
you go
fucking
Avenue,
heavy. Yeah.
One Oak, while you're calling the Uber.
Oh, yeah, right there.
And you go to Artichoke.
Yep. Right
Or you
over.
come from some other, you always wind up at One Oak. If you're like out, you always
That
wind
is
up at One
true.
Oak.
That
So you
is
got to
true.
get Artichoke after to soak up the alcohol.
And they were so smart to put it right there. I'm seeing it in my head. I'm like envisioning that corner over there.
I don't know
It's
if
the best area.
this is 100% accurate. Do not quote me on this,
Yeah.
but I believe that either One Oak or Avenue owned Artichoke.
You know what? Maybe they do.
I think it was
When you have
One
money
Oak.
like that, I'm sure they were like, we're gonna buy this franchise, or maybe they bought
That's
that
the
one.
smartest thing.
Yeah, they're just rich.
So
Rich from
anytime that line was too long, I would walk down 2 blocks to Stella's,
Oh,
which was just as fucking good. And that was close to, where is
give
that?
anything.
Tao. That was close to Tao.
Literally give anything.
Give anything. I'm probably going to get it while I'm home.
You have to.
I have to go to
have
Stella's.
to.
And it's so random because it's like
Yeah.
it's like this hole in the wall pizza place.
Oh,
but I'm like
so
obsessed with
good.
it because I was a kid, like underage drinking.
Over there, yeah.
Trying to sober up to get home.
As you do.
And
Yeah,
I would be in there so many times. They would know me by the time that I was
Oh,
there.
amazing.
Like the guys would be like, "Oh, come on!" And I'd skip the line and be like, "Yes, they know me here. I'm sorry."
Oh,
Have a
amazing.
full moment.
Obsessed. That's that New York lifestyle, though.
That is. So I have, over the past year, become obsessed with reading. So one of my favorite questions to ask people is like, "What's a book that changed your life?" And you
Oh.
said yours was Choke.
Yes. Have you read it?
I have not yet.
By Chuck Palahniuk. It's really good. I love all his books. I read it when I was in New York about to move there. I was like 18, and this guy I was seeing handed it to me. We were at the tattoo shop getting tattoos, and he handed it to me. And he's like, "You should read this." And I was like, oh, I guess
Read.
yeah. Read. Literally, I'm like, okay, I guess I'll read this book because this guy that I told me to read it.
Literally.
So stupid. If a guy I told me to read a book right now, I also would read it though. I'd be like, okay.
No, 100%.
Because what's going in your mind that you're giving me this book, and that book is fucked up. You read that book, it is fucked up.
Synopsis it. What's it about?
I can't even. It's like
can't.
it's like the biggest twist at the end. It's so bad. I've read it like 2 or 3 times. Same guy that wrote Fight Club. That's my favorite movie.
Oh shit! No way.
So it's one of those, but it's definitely. I'd love to do some kind of recreation with it somehow in photography. I don't know. I haven't got there yet. I'd also love to shoot Chuck. I think he's such an interesting character. Weird dude. His short stories are weird. His stuff's just really fucked up. I love really fucked up things. And even with my photography, I'm like, how weird can I fucking take it?
Yeah, you
and
got a
then
lot
I
of
dumb it
blood
back down.
happening.
Lots of blood, lots of prosthetics, lots of really weird. And then I'm like, okay, and then here's this beautiful woman
Literally.
in a bed or in a field. And then it's okay, here's this person bleeding out. There's you have to have both. But
Where
yeah,
do you draw your creative inspiration from?
a lot of movies and theater. So since my background is theater and I grew up seeing so much theater and then moved there and saw so much theater. I think that my work is like very theatrical, and it holds like, if I can shoot in a theater, like I'd shoot every single photo shoot in a theater, or have someone build me a theater. Like we just did.
That would be so cool.
I have a set coming out for Playboy with one of my really good friends who does burlesque, and I was like, we need to have you in a theater, and we need you to do burlesque for like the video and photos.
Yeah.
And every theater was like, no nudity. And I was like, what the hell? I'm trying to pay you guys. Not a lot of money, because, you know, not a big budget. But I'm still trying to pay you
during
enough.
During a time when your shit's sitting dark and not being used.
For a 3 hour, what the hell? Like, you don't want, like, a couple $100
empty
bucks?
theater.
Like, empty theater. So all of them said no. So my good friends who are set designers, I was like, can you build me a theater in your space? That. And then so they built me, like, a little theater, like, box. Looks legit. Looks like we were in the theater, because they're amazing. And like truly any theater set. But yeah, so from that, and then from movies, like I love David Lynch, who's also like so fucked up, Twin Peaks, like that like whole like era of like the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, but then also taking it back to like the 30s and 40s. I don't know, I just love decades. I'm like,
same,
you know, I'm like, yeah, the 30s through the 2000s, we stopped there. But
that's when shit stopped being cool. That's when they started recreating the shit from that time period and just saying, here it is again.
Exactly.
But with better quality.
Yep. Whenever I do a photo shoot and I send it to my mom, she goes, wow, you look like me in like insert era here. When I lived in New York in 1981, like that's what you're serving in this photo. I'm like, thank you very much.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah, that's what I was going
Thanks.
for. So I'm always like loving something from like another time period, or like I'll recreate, like yesterday I literally just did the same like red hallway vibe from Twin Peaks that I've done. I probably do it once every 6 months. I'll just reinvent it. A red curtain set. I'm like, how many times can I do that? As many times as you fucking want to. Yeah. I'm like with a new model in there and like new lighting design. Totally different. It's different. It's different every time.
What was the shoot that you were like, all right, I fucking made it. Like, this is my career. This is my job. Like, I fully believe now that, like, I'm doing the right thing and this is my career, essentially.
Ooh. Oh, my God. I can't even think. Probably when I started doing people's, like, single art and, like, in magazine covers. Like, I did one like, right in the beginning, but I'm trying to think which one I, like, really loved. When I started shooting, like, people I loved, like, when I shot SZA last year, I was, like, crying in the car. Yeah, I was like, what? Like, and then, oh, no, okay, here's the moment. I had to, like, really rack my brain. So I worked on 42nd Street when I was working on Broadway, and I was managing. And on 42nd Street last year was one of the photos of Olivia Rodrigo I took for Spotify's, like, New Music Friday on the same street I worked on. And I was like, if this isn't full circle, like I don't know what is. And that's when I was wild. Like, this is cool. And then this past year, Rebecca Black had a photo in Times Square on like 44th Street, and it was the corner of the other theater I worked on. And I was like, this is like mind boggling. Like, how does this keep happening? And I wasn't there for either of them, but I had friends go and like take photos and videos. But so cool, like to see my work in like I shoot film too. And some people are like, you can't blow up film. Film can't be a magazine. You're like,
here it is on 42nd Street.
Yeah,
thanks.
Exactly. Here it is blown up larger than life. So like, please go ahead and try to tell me that you can't shoot film for your whatever you want.
Why film?
I just love it. It's honestly like just a cool look. Like it's vintage. I love the vintage vibe. I feel like I was not born in the 90s.
I'm from another world.
Yeah, I'm from another time. So many people say that, but it's like, I don't know. It does transport you. Like, we grew up with our parents shooting us on film, and like that was of that era. And it's crazy how much it's like come back, because I was doing it before it was cool. Like, film prices have like tripled this year.
Yeah, well, because it's cool now.
Yeah, because it's cool now. Yeah, and everyone loves it. And I'm like, but if you're, and like I do shoot digital a little bit, like especially for like concert stuff. Like I've gotten a little bit more into it. I lost a roll of film this year shooting, and I just brought one camera, and I was shooting a concert, and I was like, this is never gonna happen again. This is so stupid. Yeah. No one was mad. Everyone was like, it happens. Like, your camera literally broke.
Yeah.
Could have happened if I was shooting digital too. But I was like, oh my God, I can't like give myself.
I need to have two cameras.
Excuse. Yeah, I need to have two cameras. Usually I'll have a few film cameras, but I don't know. I was just so confident in that one that day, and it literally kicked the bucket.
That's insane.
And that happens like once every
blue moon.
Yeah, blue moon. Like, I want to say once every 5 years something like that traumatic will happen to you, and that was it. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I didn't shoot a show for a while. And then I came back, and I shot one kind of recently. Photos came out great. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm back. But yeah, it was terrible. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like out here like, yeah, I'm a digital photographer. Like Petra Collins, who I love, shoots digital just to make sure she gets the shot, and we'll take a few and then shoots all on film. So I'm like,
That's what I've had a lot of film people do. Like, okay, let's shoot a little bit. Oh, stay. I like that one.
Yeah.
Stay there. Let me get my film camera.
Yep.
I don't think I've worked with anyone that just did strictly film. I think it's because, again, it's too expensive. Like,
it's crazy
to just, like, digital, it's fucking free. You can hold your finger down on the button for 10 years.
I don't even own a digital camera, though. I only bring one when I'm doing, like, a really big campaign or something. But I'm all film. Yeah.
I love that, though.
It's cool. It's fun. It's like you get what you get.
It's unique, and it shows that, like, it's kind of like a BBL versus like the girls that like squat.
Yeah.
It's like you really like put the work in, and it's a craft, and you respect it like that. Like, it's not something that you are like shooting, like, not that shooting products and like grocery stores and like cans of things are not creative in their own way, but like
an outlet for that.
You see a whole artistic side to it that's not just like point and shoot.
Totally. It's crazy. It's crazy. I shoot with like 5 or 6 cameras, like different formats of cameras, like medium format, which is like larger, and then huge big ass camera, and then I'll have like, I still shoot with point and shoots. You know, I have every different camera with me because everyone gives a different look.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, why not? Why not have all these different cameras with film too? It's like,
if you have them, why not?
Yeah, if you have them, why not? Everyone laughs. I always have just a bunch of assistants holding stuff for me, holding all these cameras, and I'm like, hey, they're heavy. Someone's got to hold them.
Literally. Oh,
I have like 5 of them around my neck, and I'm like, why do my shoulders hurt? Why is my shoulder dislocated? Why does my hand hurt? Because I'm over here. Like, there's just really funny pictures of me holding like a big camera. But ever since I started shooting medium format, this camera is literally a brick. It's like this big. It's like a box.
Oh my
God. And like, I can't be strapped up with that. It's got to sit on the floor, sit in someone's hand, sit on its own chair. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that though.
It's fun. It's cool.
What made you want to start doing workshops?
I always wanted to teach. Like, when I went to like theater camp, I was like, this is cool. Like, I'll be doing this one day. I'm going to be up there like teaching. Yeah. And I always wanted to teach. And then the whole like don't gatekeep thing came across. And like, I have books that people buy. Cause like if someone wants like information from me, I'm not just going to be like, oh yeah, here's this.
I'm going to sit here and talk to you for 20 minutes about some shit, stranger.
Exactly. Totally. And like, I don't have the time. Maybe if you comment on my picture now, oh, what film is this or something.
You'll respond. But
I'll respond maybe if I have
where should I buy it? How should I develop? Like all the questions.
And people ask. So I wrote these like handbooks, and they still sell. When I like launched them, they like flew off the shelves. Yeah. It's digital too. So you just have it. You can have it on your phone.
I love that.
Yeah, you can have it on your phone. You can have it on your computer. You could print it out. But I wasn't going to, like, ship them. But it was great. Like, people still, you know, every now and again, I'll get, like, a Venmo. Like, sometimes I advertise. But not really, because they're just there. And it's great. So, like, that was step 1 in, like, teaching. And then a girl messaged me and was like, I really want to learn from you. Do you teach, like, a very professional message? Do you teach, like, mentorships, or do you, like, have students? And I was like, I don't, but I've always wanted to. Mm-hmm. So my cousin, who is my producer and, like, works with me, was like, let's, like, sit down and figure out, like, a price for this and, like, launch it. So we tried it with this girl, and she was amazing, such a great student, like, amazing photographer. And she, like, gave feedback, loved it, like, had nothing negative to say. And so I've been doing one-on-one sessions all year. And then I sat down with my best friend Claire for lunch, and she was also like more of a creative director. Like, she considers herself creative director first, but she shoots digital so that she can execute her ideas, and she's amazing. So we do totally different things. I creative direct too, but she's like a creative director. She's amazing. And she's one of my best friends. I met her because she hired me to be on her podcast, first podcast I've ever went on.
No way.
Right when I moved here, and to like shoot, she was doing like merch at the time for her brand. And so we met, and like we got to know each other that way, and we've been like, you know, buddies ever since. And I went to her for lunch, and I was like, we need to like teach together, because we are like 2 amazing women, and we need to like put ourselves out there. And it was just, the class was like a best day of my life. Like, a girl came up crying at the end, saying it like changed her life. It was just to like help other people like that, young women. It was 21 young girls, like, you know, younger than me, a little bit older than me, maybe, like, you know, early, you know, teens to early 30s. And like, everyone just was so cool and like eager to learn, and like no one had any negative to say. We're doing another one next month in August, and every single person that took the class has like shared it, told their friends, like reposted our things, and like tagged us and said, you don't want to miss this. Just so cool. Like, because we didn't know what we were doing. Yeah. My cousin produced the whole thing, and she was in charge of everything, and like we just have such a good format. Like it was so
I love that it's
cool.
run by women.
Run by women, yes. And then we do it at this studio called Drip Dome, and it's my 2 friends, they're sisters, that run it.
No way. I
And
think
we
I
keep it, like,
DM'd
in
them
the-
to shoot there.
Oh, you should. They're literally the best.
Because they changed the sets around, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely did.
Yeah, you should go. They're the
It
best.
was, they had the Barbie one.
Yes.
And I was obsessed because pink, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I was
pink.
like, oh my God, I want to shoot with that. I think they had just taken it down, or they were like in the middle of changing
They always
it.
have. Yeah, they have a pink set right now that you'd like. I'll show you after this. But they're the best. They like do all my custom set builds, and for the class, like we do 3 different sets. So you leave like with a portfolio.
That's fire.
It's really cool. It's like really helpful. It's like $750, which is a really good price, and you're
Yeah,
there
it
8
is.
hours, and we talk about the business. We talk about how to get clients, like how to like talk to people in a professional manner, like because that's important to me.
Yeah.
And I want other people to like learn that information, but also learn how to shoot and how to like,
All the
how to
things.
creative direct and how to like pose a model. And we have like 3 professional models come out, and everyone's paid. It's a great day. And it's all run by sisters. Me and my cousin.
Sounds amazing.
Claire and her sister. Her sister comes and helps my cousin.
Oh my
And then the
God.
sisters who run it. So we're like, our family, like sisters unite. It's so
That
cool.
is everything.
It's so cool.
I love that so much.
Yeah, so it was really fun. It was like family event.
So what is the clown series?
So the clown series. So this past year, like the end of the year, I'm so busy. Like I swear, I work every day. I just like tire myself out. I'm always doing something. Like even when I'm on vacation, like when I was in New York on like vacation, I worked like every day. I like shot. Yeah, whatever.
But that's the thing, when you love something, it's not really work.
No. I'm like, I still want to create. So, but the end of last year, I was like, God, I really need to do something for myself. Like I don't take the time to do shoots that like I want to do, that I produce. Because like I love producing all my own shoots. I'll pay for like anything if I really want to get it done. Like it's not a problem. It just goes, it's back into the business,
Literally.
And so I did like one, and it was semi-clowny in when I was home in Florida. And then I liked it so much, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do another. So I asked my friend Chloe, who just changed her to Down to Clown makeup because she loves clowns so much.
Oh my
and
God.
I was like, hey, and she does like special effects makeup. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, do you want to like do a clown shoot with me? And she was like, yeah, I do. And so we did one, and it like did really well. And then people wanted to do it. And so, but I'm only doing friends, like people I know, or like people I want to shoot. I don't know. And I've done some cool ones. I'm doing like a really good one in 2 weeks. And then I'm doing one this week, really good. My Halloween one. It's going to be my cousin.
Oh my God, so
Yeah,
early.
It's so early, yes. And we're going to have to like hold the photos. We're doing it on August 1st, right? Halloween's like, and I'll probably post it like mid-Halloween. Who knows if it's going to be the grand
The
finale.
Halloween
Yeah,
photo.
I don't know. I decide like, I tried to do them a few early that I like my shoots. Like
That's when I found your account, was your Halloween stuff.
amazing. What do you remember when? Like what year?
I think-
what I was doing?
I think it was Shawn Mendes.
Oh, I didn't shoot Shawn Mendes.
I've
Cameron Dallas?
Cameron Dallas.
Yes.
I always confuse those two.
You know,
they look the same.
they look the same.
To
They look
me.
the same.
Honestly, I don't know. I'm
That
like
was-
Shawn Mendes, Cameron Dallas.
Cameron Dallas. That was a good one. Patrick Bateman. That was fun. That's one of my favorite movies.
No way.
Yes, that was good. But
I think my favorite
love
movie is Pulp Fiction.
Oh, another great one.
I'm basic. I love Quentin Tarantino.
No, who doesn't? Oh my God.
I'm like, everyone does. That's why it
Everyone
makes me
does.
basic.
He's great. No complaints there.
No, he's the best. His movies just like, I feel like you can watch them over and over again. You always see something
Yep.
new.
And they're
And
so
those are,
long.
like,
It's like there's so much
so
to
long.
like, so much to take in.
I still want to do an American Beauty shoot.
Oh, you should. I've always wanted. Maybe that's what we'll do.
Literally, the
Yeah,
rose petals.
The rose
I'm
petals
like,
are so
"You
good.
gotta-"
I'm like, where do you get all those rose petals though? That's why I haven't done it yet. I need
Literally,
someone to
where
like
do you get
execute
them?
it, and then I'll just show up. Because
I'll
I've
figure it
thought
out.
about it.
I'll figure this out.
Yeah, figure it out. My friend who's a drag queen was like thinking we could do it last year, and I was like, where are we gonna get the?
All the rose
I
petals.
was like, that'd be really good, but where are we gonna get the rose petals?
There's so many. Is there anything else that you would like to plug, like to tell the people about? Definitely get your Instagram up in there.
Yes. So Peggy shoots film on everything. And yeah, my workshop is going to be August 20th. I don't know if this will come out by then, but
It should.
okay, cool. So
it
August,
might be that week, honestly.
Well, yes, there will be more. And I'm trying to think if I have anything else coming up, but that's it. That and Halloween. So very excited for all the Halloween shoots I'm going to be doing. And a lot of people think I don't take new clients, but I do. So I love saying that to people. And
She takes new clients.
I do
Hit
take
her
new
up.
clients.
Slide in the DMs.
so yeah, get in there and Yeah, this was amazing. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you so much for coming on. And I will see you Spillers next Wednesday. I'm Tori 212 Green on all platforms. Tea with Tori podcast on Instagram. Bye.
Bye.